Hi, I'm Thomas Carter and I'm a music video editor.
My name's James Rose and I'm an editor.
Hi, my name's Tom Lindsay and I'm a music video editor.
So in my role as an editor on a music video, I sort of come into the process directly after the shoot and I take all the footage that's been shot, which might be a few hours, maybe 10 hours, 2 hours, it really varies. And then my role is to kind of cut it down and make that work within the 3-minute track. So if it's a performance video, it's getting the best performance out and making the artist look great. If it's a narrative, it's about building that story through the track.
There's lots of different types of editing. There's documentary editing or feature film editing or television editing. Music video editing it's a very creative kind of editing. You don't necessarily have a script and it's really, really important to be musical.
It can be very positive to have some time just on your own with nobody else there to try and digest everything that's been shot and to try and begin to make something of it.
Because I wasn't on set, I can look at a shot for what it is and maybe look at it from another perspective and have some fresh eyes on it, which after a really tough shoot and long hours is really, really good for a director to have that new set of eyes.
When I receive these days a hard drive containing the material that's been shot, which I then bring into my machine.
I have like a desktop computer with a couple of screens. You don't have to have a couple of screens, but it makes it easier when you've got people in to have sort of more space.
Mac Pro or an iMac or pretty much any computer that you can buy in pretty much any store, and some software, so Final Cut or Avid. That's all you really need to do editing.
Even if there's a narrative over the top or there's going to be other elements involved, I always get an edit of the entire performance all the way through. So then when we start building the narrative over the top, at any point in the process we can just move it around, and below that narrative there's always going to be some great performance.
Narrative videos are really rewarding to cut, but the issue with them is making them feel musical. And so if you have a 4-minute track and you have verses and choruses and middle eights and intros, the story has to reflect the music.
In a music video, anything can become musical. It might be someone's hand flicking up or a bit of dust hitting the floor. If you time that to the music and it works really well with the music, it's just really good, and there's nothing better in a music video than that.
For me, it's about engagement, and the tools that you have to engage people, I think, are pace and flow and energy, and that's control.
So I did a foundation year in art and design that let me try out graphics, fine art, all these different things. That was after my A-levels. I went on and did this really great film and video production degree at the same place. It was the Surrey Institute of Art and Design.
I always loved films as a kid, and I went to college and I studied film at college, and then I moved to London and I got a job as a runner at an editing place. And then eventually I ended up at a music video production company, met a lot of great directors, and over the years started to do little jobs for them, and they trusted me with bigger jobs, and it grew from there.
I became a runner in a small editing house with an editor that really taught me not just how to edit, but how within the 3 minutes that is a music video, you can totally capture people's attention.
With the Jessie J video for Do It Like a Dude, that was Jessie's first music video, and what was great about that was just to see what an amazing performer she was. All her performances were brilliant, and you could sort of, if you wanted to, you could cut to any angle at any stage and she'd pretty much be brilliant in all of them. It was all about just picking the best moments and making the dance and the performance work with the energy of the track.
I edited a video for an artist called Tom Veck last year. It was directed by Sam Faramand. You look aroused, you look awake, you are the light. And it's a video where there's lots of different models smoking. There's not a lot to it, and it took quite a long time, maybe sort of 10 days, to get to a point where we felt we had a video that held your attention all the way through. And that was pacing, and it's all about you start slow and you keep increasing the pace until it's very fast at the end.
Cutting music videos is a really good way of getting into editing in general, just because you spend a lot of hours doing, honing your craft, but also just those hours and hours of looking at footage, and you begin to understand what looks good and what's going to work well with things.
What's great about the technology now is that you can pick it up and you can make everything yourself, but in some ways it's best to always be thinking, which bit do I enjoy the most and which bit would I like to do for a career?
My idea of what editing should be is that it should be a fun, creative process.
Make sure you're really super organised with your footage, and you've got to watch everything through and start picking out any moments that you think might be good. Start picking all those moments out and collect them, however it is you're going to edit, collect them in a way that you can then just look back at all the best bits.
When you're editing your video, don't be scared to not put things in. If you're not happy with it, don't put it in. So you can always just leave things on the floor and you just don't have to add them in. Focus on performance, always focus on performance.